Sup everyone, this is Draco Evolve back yet again with some latest Manchester United transfer news and speculation, and today we are going to be having four things to discuss. News around Jadon Sancho, Rojo's potential transfer, Alexis Sanchez, Fernando Llorente, and a potential sort of transfer budget, for a glimpse of the transfer budget according to reports for this January for Manchester United. And as always guys, if you are new to the channel, make sure you smash the like button. If you like what you see, where I cover match previews, reviews, analysis, stats, transfer rumours, confirmed news, everything around Manchester United, plus game titles such as small indie games which I'm still working on, and small titles, sports titles that's coming, FIFA 19 gameplays that I'm still working on, waiting for the FIFA 20, then hit the subscribe button. Get in touch. You know, I got my social media links at the bottom of the screen. Draco at Draco Evolve for Twitter, so hit me up there, message me anytime. You know, let's get involved. But anyway, first up, the first news is not linked directly with Manchester United, but it does have a significant update in regards to Jadon Sancho's potential rumored transfer to Manchester United. Today it's been confirmed by Simon Sport from BBC and various outlets that he has signed an 190k a week contract with his club Borussia Dortmund. Now the previous deal is due to expire in 2022. That has been extended, and obviously the rumours and reports were saying that Manchester United was one of the clubs that shown firm interest, but the deal fell through because United was not in the Champions League, and therefore the deal fell through. Obviously it goes to show that he is happy at Dortmund at the age of 19. He signed the contract, so he's there for a longer period now. Therefore it means that he will cost you a lot more than the quoted £100 million value for this fella. Fantastic player, right winger, we all know about him, we don't have to discuss too much around him, but I think he's going to be a miss for United. I think there were repercussions when we didn't enter the Champions League. A blockbuster signing like Jadon Sancho will be fabulous, with an understudy such as Daniel James. That's your right wing sorted for England and Manchester United, potentially for the next 10 plus years. I would love to have seen him at the club. As I said before, he's got tenacity, he's got goals and assists in him, he's got pace, he's got power, he's got dribbling, he's got pretty good passing range as well. He would have, and he's British, right? He would have been a fantastic signing for us. But unfortunately, and fortunately for Dortmund, he has signed a deal worth 190k a week, which means he's definitely staying in Dortmund for a long time, and also it means he will cost us significantly higher than the quoted figure of £100 million that's been branded around several news outlets. I don't know, Jadon Sancho, he can pick and choose any club he wants, but committing himself for a long time in a bigger project in Dortmund, I feel maybe it might be a contract that comes and haunts him in the future, because to be honest with you, with all due to respect, Dortmund is a fantastic club, but really you want to be Bayern Munich. You want to be at Bayern Munich in the Bundesliga. You want to play for Real Madrid, Barcelona's, the Man Cities nowadays, especially a player of this talent. So him committing to a long-term project, unless he has a specific release clause, which we do not know about as of yet, was a bit of a strange one for me, but I'm happy for Dortmund. We know that he's definitely not going to be leaving anytime soon, unless United or hopefully go in for him. But that's the news around Dortmund's Jadon Sancho. Let's move on to Rojo. So obviously Rojo is set to leave Manchester United. It is believed to be, you know, we got too many centre backs, right? 7 centre backs, and Ole did come out and say that he can't please everyone, and one of them might need to leave before the transfer window shuts on September 2nd. According to this Manchester Evening News, Rojo could seal a loan move to Turkish Super League in the coming days, if reports are to be believed. So the Turkish media are saying that Fenerbahce is close to sealing a loan deal for Rojo. There were other outlets saying, that I was reading today, that United might pay a little bit for him to move, and I think he should move out. I mean, there is literally no place for him with his injury He's such an aggressive player, but his injury has stifled him. You got Harry Maguire and Lindelof seems to be the first choice partnership. You still got Phil Jones and Chris Smalling, who are very experienced with a lot of game time and know-how in their head. Defensive wise, they're a bit. And then you got Tuanzebe as well, who's breaking through, and Bailly, who's a long-term injuries. That's six defenders right there. Rojo's being 7 centre back. I think it's time for him to move on. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think we should keep actually Rojo and sell one of Phil Jones or Chris Smalling? Because Rojo is probably the only left-footed centre back at United, isn't it? So you talk about balance here, and we have 90% of the players in the centre back position who's right-footed predominantly, isn't it? But Rojo's the only centre back that's left-footed, who's naturally left-footed, right? So there you go. That's the news around Rojo. We move on to Alexis Sanchez. So according to the Express, we are looking to offload Alexis Sanchez to Inter Milan, where he could be reunited with Romelu Lukaku. He has apparently said to Oli that he wants to move out before the European transfer deadline closes on September 2nd, which was roughly a couple of weeks away. But according to this article, that we are willing to pay a large portion of his wages to send him on a long loan to Inter with an option to buy, and the reported fee is around £15 million if Inter want to sign him up. Apparently that leaves us with an attacking option which is already thin, losing Lukaku, with only Martial, Rashford, and you can say Daniel James is still young, and Mason Greenwood. That's it really. Mata is past it. Lingard hasn't scored or assisted a goal in the Premier League for 11 months. Get that 11 months. So we are very light on the attacking side. However, the report is saying that we could be going for Fernando Llorente as a stopgap between himself and Mason Greenwood. What I mean by stopgap is he might come in, he's 33 or 34 years old, he might come in, he's a free agent, and just give that experience and give that buffer points between the sure starters of Rashford and Martial to Greenwood. There won't be much pressure because you got Llorente in the middle, right? Who can kind of come in and ease that pressure off, and he gives us something different, I guess. If someone that's going to come in for free, then I'll take him, because we are in desperate, isn't it? Mason Greenwood 17 with such talent, I don't think he's ready. Daniel James, we saw the other day, he's not fully ready yet. And then we got Martial and Rashford. Imagine one of them has an injury or deep in form, which will happen at some point. Every striker goes through that. We could be in serious trouble. But this is the news around Alexis Sanchez, latest transfer news. Hopefully it goes away. I believe he is one of the few players that is probably causing a disruption to the dressing room. We now know what Lukaku was definitely one of them, causing a distraction with his behavior, and we've seen that in the summer. Alexis Sanchez could be another one. He has been like that for Arsenal before he left. He was a big disruption and distraction as well, and someone like that we do not need at the club, especially with that wage structure, because he is actually dismantling our wages. A reported wage of up to 400k a week, some are reporting 500k. That's too much, man. You got players like De Gea, Pogba, who's earning less than half that, and they deserve more than that than this guy, especially De Gea. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think Sanchez should be given another chance, or do you think it's bye bye? Let's put our eggs in Mason Greenwood basket. Let's hope Daniel James goes through as well, comes alive. And that's it, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Last but not least, obviously, is the big report coming out from various outlets. I'm reading out a report from North Wales Live that Manchester United are set to spend £75 million in January transfer window. Apparently, the reports are saying that United Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will be given roughly £75 million to spend in the January transfer window. If the reports are true, it's much needed. I hope we go and spend it, not just hold on to it and wait for the right signing, because we need it. We saw the other day the depth in our squad. We do not have any depth. When we were drawing 1-1 against Wolves, the person that came on was Mata. And that's it. There was no one else, isn't it? Someone like Bruno Fernandes coming in for £75 million will be fantastic. In a central midfielder, we need a striker. We definitely need, especially if Alexis Sanchez goes. So there are gaps in the team. If obviously we sign Fernando Llorente, maybe we can push through just about, but at least spend that money on a central midfielder. And we all have been crying out for a central midfielder. My sort of preference is Bruno Fernandes. I think him in that number 10 position will cause a lot of havoc. He's absolutely brilliant. He's technically gifted, and we need a number 10. As I said, who plays? We simply playing 4-2-3-1 with the 2 games we played so far. It was 4-2-3-1 with Pogba and McTominay sitting. We have a right winger in terms of Daniel James. Left winger is sorted with Rashford, and up front we got Martial. Those 3 players I think are going to be sure starters over the coming months. But the number 10 position, we have Lingard, who's not really a number 10, and we have Mata, who's kind of past that point of keeping up with the Premier League. So someone like Bruno Fernandes coming in, who can play in the centre midfield, so we can switch into a 4-3-3 if we need to defend a bit more, and he can play in the number 10, and he has goals in him. He's good at set pieces. £75 million we got to spend. Fair play. He's going to cost you roughly around £60 million, £50 to £60 million. Maybe we can pull something off, albeit it might be a bit too late into the season. I mean, if we get a major injury now, a couple of injuries, that's it. There's a lot of games from now till January. The season is almost 60-70% done by the time we reach January. So it might be a bit of a problem, but better to spend it than not to spend it. You know, if the money is available, go and spend it. It's as simple as that. And I'm sure we're gonna get more money out with the likely sales of Rojo and Darmian and Alexis Sanchez. So we've already had a net spend of £62 million something. With those players leaving, we're probably gonna have £30-40 million net spend, to be frank, and that is not acceptable, especially considering the fact that this summer is supposed to be a big rebuilding. 30, 40, 50 million pound worth of rebuilding for a club like Manchester United is unacceptable. So anyway, if the reports are true, hopefully it's the case. And as always guys, I catch you guys in the next upload, and stay farafari. Thank you.